dries
Your
out,
gases
then
come
you
out,
get
yeah.
off gases coming out, okay? So talk to your insurance company.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say one way or the
Yeah,
other
no,
on that
it's
one,
good to
so,
know.
yeah. Now, same thing, if you ever encountered a squishy spot on the floor that was wet or something like that, it would probably be a problem with the radiant heating.
Okay.
Now, the system's been on for months and months and months. If it was going to happen, it would have happened
happened by
already,
now.
basically. So you will never need this, but it's the similar idea, okay? Just turn it off.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now the section at the bottom, you will never need to touch. What this is this is the actual system itself, and it's a flow rate system. So we have set this for, remember when it was really super cold in January? It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we walked
Cold
into
over
some of
today,
the,
actually.
we walked into some of the homes and we went, oh my God, call the plumber, because they
Yeah.
didn't have the flow rate high enough,
Right.
okay? That's something that you would never adjust, okay?
Okay.
You would call our service department and we would send a plumber over to do that, okay?
Okay.
Because it's pretty sensitive, it's
Sure.
just little bits,
Right.
okay? But people like to know what it is,
Yep.
okay? Now, I'm mentioning the service department, okay? When you get this binder that I've talked about that has
Yep.
warranties and all kinds of boring information that you do need to read, on the first cover of it is a business card for our service coordinator, Zara. Okay?
Okay.
You can call her. We also have a 24-hour number, okay? And I'll get into the warranties as we move around.
Great.
I'll explain some of that stuff to you. Okay.
Was this
Liam.
one a 2-10-10 warranty?
2510.
It was 2-5. For some reason I thought
2-5-10.
2-10. Okay.
No, 2, 5, and 10.
Sure.
Yeah, and then 1 year service.
Yeah.
I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, when we first walked in here, actually the bathroom light was out. But because it sensed movement and saw us when we walked in there, it
Oh, it's
turned
got a
on.
sensor here. Oh,
So-
okay, yeah,
Ah,
okay.
okay.
This light switch right here is a motion sensor light, okay? It turns on when you walk in, it turns off after it's stopped sensing motion, obviously. Sorry, redundant statement of the day.
So if you're meditating in the bathroom, it might.
Yeah.
there we go.
You, well, you can change some of the settings on this, okay? Now,
Okay.
I talk a lot and tell you a lot of information already, and eventually people's eyes glaze over. Anyway, we have videos. We have YouTube videos that you can look up on how to do different
do that.
things. And one of
Okay.
them is how to program
Adjust
this,
that.
okay?
Right.
Because you can, yeah, how long it stays on, different things like that, okay? Now, we do provide an over-the-shower
Yeah.
light,
Okay.
okay? Now, this is
Nice.
partly because if you have a really thick shower curtain and you take a very long shower, the motion sensor thinks you've gone away.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, it's nice to have the light on.
Yeah.
You can just move the curtain and
it'll come back on.
Right. And as you noticed, you can just turn it on and off.
Okay.
Okay?
I've never seen
yes.
a lock on that, so.
Yeah, what it is it's a medicine cabinet.
Gotcha,
So,
okay.
I figured it was something
you'll get
like
a
that.
key
Kids.
just like this, just like
Yeah.
you get the one for the water manifold. If you have little ones coming
Makes
over
sense,
to
that's what I
visit, you
figured,
lock the
yeah.
Tylenol in there and
Yeah.
hey, nice.
That's the whole reason they bought this place.
Yeah.
Near the grandson.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
They do.
lock that baby up. I'm not sure why that's, oh, you know why that's there?
Those loose.
We haven't siliconed that yet,
Okay,
so
yeah,
that's what
I see
that's
that.
for, and that's there so that they clean that.
And,
Okay? Somebody's already done your work,
Yeah.
or my work, or whatever.
Great.
Now, oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good.
Your parents may want to know this. To open the pocket door, push in and up,
Okay,
okay?
Okay.
And it gives you the ability
Ah,
to open the door. Okay?
great.
great.
Just, that way nobody's losing their hip on that little thing sticking
Oh,
out as
yeah.
you're walking back and forth, okay? All right, ceiling fan.
With the
It's
fan.
going to be controlled over here, if I'm on. Now,
This was an option.
this was an option.
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Setting 1, setting 2, and setting
Okay.
3. Nice.
And then they can also hit that just to turn it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not
Does
sure
this
if
one do it
this,
too?
no, now that's your switchable plug.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, down
Yep.
here, oh, he hasn't dotted it yet. These should be switchable plugs, no, they're not. I guess in this size room, you don't get the
Okay.
switchable plug, sorry about that.
You get
Normally we
remote
have
control,
you get.
remote control fan. Though.
Yeah, true enough, you get this, which is
That's
much
pretty good.
nicer.
That's
Okay.
really nice.
So let's turn this off.
It's good in these suites too because
And then
it's the only way to flow air around.
Yeah,
Here-
totally.
Well,
Yeah, it's-
now, this goes back to the point that you were
Yeah.
making about the fan, okay? On the wall.
Oh, we've got,
here,
yeah, okay.
You'll notice that that circle on the wall, okay? What it is the city of North Van requires that we put a fresh air vent into every room in a place now. It used to be just one per unit, now it's every room, actually. You didn't get that on film, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did not.
What it is this is a fresh air vent. It allows air to come in. It's a passive system, so there's no fan on it. It's not blowing air. And the entrance is actually like way down low here. You can see it when you go outside. This works in conjunction with the fan in the bathroom. So the fan in the bathroom is running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
You don't have the control to turn it off. Because what it's doing
Oh, so they just set it so it goes 24 hours.
24 hours.
You know what? I
Yeah.
leave mine on.
Leave it
24
on.
hours
Yeah, we
for
leave it
that
on.
reason,
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
I tell anyone in a condo, just turn your fans on.
And
Yeah.
It'll work forever before it's going
Oh,
down.
God,
Honestly,
yeah.
costs nothing.
And you're paying like 15 cents a month.
Well,
or
and the
something.
people who don't, like
You get
the
more
building
work.
I closed on, the windows were fogging up, and we kept saying, just turn your fan
Turn your
on.
fan
And
on.
Yeah.
Ground floor suites, we can't open our windows, or if you go out, you can't anyway. So
Yeah,
people's
Right.
things kept fogging up and dripping. I was like, mine doesn't, because I leave my fan on, and then when I cook, my hood fan's on, and I leave it on for hours after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get rid of
You
the
just
humidity.
move the air around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I will mention as well is this center section actually rotates to make it a larger or smaller.
Oh,
So you
okay,
can
cool.
control the amount of flow.
Okay.
That's a nice feature though.
It's,
That's really-
it's nice. We
that's
build
really
airtight
nice.
and watertight. We've got to create
Yeah.
airflow to stop people from getting sick, stop
Totally.
mold buildup, all that kind of
That's
stuff.
really
right?
that's really cool.
So, yeah,
Fans on all the time.
Okay.
and it
You can
circulates,
circulates
the
the
air.
air the entire time.
Yeah, and that way you don't have to open a window.
No.
Right? Like
Right.
if you don't feel comfortable with that.
So hopefully that noise doesn't bother anyone.
Doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I will say you can unplug it. if you
Yeah, yeah,
can, you know, if you can,
Yeah.
But it's, for the most part, like it's on for a purpose.
Yeah.
So,
Got it.
okay, you have this light switch which seems to do nothing. What it is, there was the option of getting an island in this,
Yeah.
which would have had two pendant lights hanging
Right.
down. So that's what that light switch is for. If you want to put in track lighting or something,
And we
it's
can put
wired
those up
for
there,
it, right?
yeah.
So whatever you want to do with that is up to you. And this is your kitchen. This should be, okay.
Just 1, 2.
And this is,
I think that is the one you were talking about because when you hit the first one, the light.
that's
in
a
the
hallway
light.
light.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this
Yeah.
is the hallway light.
Okay.
Sorry, we have one of these in one unit, and one unit only where it's a three-way. So there's a
Okay.
switch over there and a switch over there, and I'm always confused with that. Right. Anyway, you'll move in and get used to the lights. Now, as I mentioned before, you have a radiant heating system, okay? Have you ever had radiant heating before? 'Cause
We
it's a
have
bit
not.
different than a forced air system or an electric baseboard system. What it's doing is it's actually heating the air around you, right? It's coming from the base and it's heating upwards.
Right.
So the system is a little bit slower to engage than a forced air system or a baseboard heating system. What I'll say is right now, ambient temperature is 22 degrees as you read it right here, okay? It's actually set at 18. So with the sunlight and everything, it's getting warmer. If I set it higher, let's set it at 24,
Mhm.
you'll see in the bottom left corner, it'll start to say, come on, heat on. That means that the system is starting to send hotter water through the system, through the pipes, okay? It's a slow system. It doesn't heat up like this. It'll take an hour for it to keep heating up and heating up, okay? What we recommend is find a temperature that you're comfortable with,
And leave it.
and then if it's a little too warm, open a window. Don't constantly be pushing this up and down, because it takes too long to get the system to heat up everything, because it's heating up the whole room, right?
Right.
Baseboard heaters have a tendency to heat up that little area,
Mhm.
and then when that area has reached its temperature, they shut off, right? Whereas this is all encompassing, okay? So it's just a suggestion, and whoever's living here will get used to it, but it's something we try and let people know beforehand. It's not an immediate heat, okay? It's a
Okay.
bit of a slower process.
Got it.
You have in the bedroom, it's kind of hard for you guys to see right now, but you have a smoke detector.
Yeah.
It is hardwired and battery operated. It's
Okay,
required.
so it's all set.
Yeah, so it means that you will have to replace the battery periodically. Usually Strata sends out a notice saying,
Mhm.
you change the battery, say. I recommend doing it proactively, because otherwise it's going to go off at 3 in the morning or something, or, you know, some night you don't want it to go off.
Yeah,
that.
makes sense.
It's just a proactive thing. It is central to just your home, so if you burn your toast, it's not
Right,
setting off
it's not
the whole
anybody
building or
else's.
anything like that, okay? However, if noise starts to come out of this, that is the fire alarm for the whole building. Okay, it means somebody's pulled one of the boxes somewhere or a sprinkler has gone off somewhere. Leave the building, and you're going to want to.
Yeah.
I'm here when they're testing it, you're going
Yeah.
to want to. So, again, you have sprinklers throughout the home, in the closets and stuff as well. They are centralized to your unit, so if somebody sets off down the hall, it doesn't mean your unit gets flooded.
Great.
Okay? All right, let's take a look at the beautiful view.
Yeah.
I got a question about the water out there. Is it
Yeah.
like, is the pooling normal or is it not
Well-
slanted properly?
Okay,
I was thinking-
2, 5, and 10 is the warranty,
Yeah.
1 year. 1 year is because of settlement, right?
Yeah.
We recognize actually now that we're starting that settlement
Already,
process,
okay.
okay? When they set up the drains, they actually do a marble test and it was supposed to drain. But we're noticing that there is a bit of settlement. It's natural and we come in and fix all of that,
Yeah.
okay? This is warrantable.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're going to wait, we've actually had the project manager out here
Gotcha.
on another deck and said, what are you thinking? And he said, you know what, let's hold off
Yeah.
until that 1 year and then we'll come back and take a look at everybody's deck.
Makes sense.
Okay? So it
Good.
is a warrantable item, don't worry, it will
Yep,
be taken
sure.
care of, but, yeah, we have noticed just a slight slope starting
Makes sense,
this,
yeah. It happens.
slightly off, so. Now you've got that on film, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice the soundproofing is actually really good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Like, for
snowing.
being so close to this
Snowing?
road.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, that sound was good.
Right, you couldn't hear the road at all.
You're completely soundproof.
Yeah.
And that's another nice thing about that area.